So, about a week ago, I put out a video of my top five arm wrestlers in the world. And I got a little bit of criticism for not including Dave Chafee. Dave Chafee, look, at the rankings are difficult and obviously subjective because not everybody has pulled everybody really recently. However, rightfully so, people did mention this match that I'm about to review, Genadi Kvikvinia versus Dave Chafee, where Dave Chafee did win. What I would like to say is 4-1, but they do 6 rounds, so it was actually 4-2 win. Before we watch this video, and I kind of try to explain why I said what I said, I'll just do a little bit of talking. So I was at Zloty this year while this event was going on, and I remember looking at Genadi, leading into it, and looking at Dave, and I remember, thinking Genadi didn't look good. I remember, just looking at him. He didn't look quite right. But the crazy thing is I remember looking at him like an hour before the event, half hour before the event, and I was like, he's totally changed. I'm like, geez, I'm looking at him. I'm like, he's gonna do something here. And then while the event was happening, I remember believing that Genadi was gonna turn it around, and I remember being so surprised that Dave was able to pull out the win. And I thought that Genadi was actually going to be able to pull off a tie at this event. Anyways, so let's take a quick look. So Zloty, you got two of the very, very best here. So Judita setting them up. Tough to get a good start. Okay, she's saying both people elbow foul. Really hard to do ref script at this level. You can see that there's a tiny bit of movement before the go. They're letting it carry on in the strap, and you can see again a little bit of movement. They let go, but no big deal. Dave just too strong, way too strong. I'm just gonna pause it before we go further. Dave, super traditional arm wrestler, really. Clear. The guy is just a textbook top roller. Textbook, hand inside the body, up pressure to the side with good pronation. That's Dave Chafee. Genadi is what I would say is a flexible, more rounded guy. I've seen Genadi arm wrestle successfully in all styles, except there's one that he's missing for Dave. Anyways, so round two, again, referee's grip. Again, you see a little bit of movement. Clearly, they're having a hard time starting this match up. Not being super tight because there is a little bit of wiggle before, and just a bit too much. Now, I'll pause it again. Okay, so that was round two. So that's Dave is up 2-0. And I will say that, so this was 2018, and I think that technically Gennadi's approach to Dave was a bit flawed, based off of all the information that there is on Dave. I really think that in Gennadi's retreat, I think Gennadi's opening is fantastic, but I think that as he retreats, he should retreat into a more open, pronating style, King's move, whatever you want to call it. As I feel that, that is showing to be Dave's issue. However, so he doesn't really do that. I think that he could have actually had him in trouble round two there if he had it swung out more, but it's going to round three. So Dave's hand is too much. Gets the underhand slip, one foul. Um, Almost like Genadi didn't even try and slip. He should have slipped way early. Dave's hand is too much. And there's the change. So the tides have turned right there. And Genadi looks like his hand is finally fatigued Dave. I love that reaction, right? I love to watch Genadi blow up. He gets so crazy. Look at him. Just giving it to him. Anybody who knows what Genadi's saying, please post it. Right. So, okay, I'm going to pause. So I remember being in the building and everybody's like, that's it. It's done. That's a tie right there. That's him turning it around, and Dave is not going to win another match. Yeah, once that hand and wrist gets cracked back and you get a submission like that, it's hard to come back from. And Dave's hand is still good outside the strap. And this was surprising to me. This was surprising. Because that's it. That's your fourth win, which is the money win right there. I remember being like, wow, I'm so shocked because Genadi is normally such a come from behind puller, yeah. Yeah, so Dave, good job. Really, really great win, in my opinion, there, to win over Genadi. The last round is inconsequential, really. You can see Dave, I mean, whether he's even really trying at this point. I know that Dave had his issues going into the match as well. I don't think either of these guys was really 100% at the time. Oh, yeah, guys, this is from Global Arm Wrestling. So head on over to their channel and sub. The link to the vid is down below. But, yeah. So why do I think that Genadi's would win against Dave? Well, let me show you a bit more. Okay, guys. So this is one of the reasons why I think that Genadi would win. Who's gone further in 2 years? And I don't know that Dave has really taken any big steps. I'm sure he has. Dave's always training and Dave is always doing great work. But I just think that Genadi is in a kind of special place. I mean, he's got Levon to pull with, okay, on a table. He's got that Iraqi little freak. So I think anytime he wants really solid table time, and that's just where it starts with the Georgian team. But more importantly is Genadi just looks better to me. Like Genadi looks like he's really physically powerful. Genadi always mentally looks like a giant to me. Like when I look at his spirit and like he's always just exploding with energy, which is one of the reasons why I really love this dude. But like physically, he seems in a better place than I've ever seen him for his entire career. I mean, what he's doing right here, I mean, if you're an arm wrestler, you have to be like, yeah. And especially, that kind of strength on a guy who knows how to arm wrestle, like Genadi, that's really frightening. Anyway, so this is the reason why I have Genadi ahead of Dave. I don't think he pulled him technically perfectly. I think he could have gone way more outside. And I think that he's got to know that after watching things like, Michael and even myself arm wrestle Dave after his super match. Um, and and I think that Genadi has just physically improved. So that's why I have him at 4. Uh, Listen, let's compromise. Genadi 4, Dave Chafee 5. Dennis, post a video of a curl or something, and I'll change my mind again. Hope you guys are doing good. Power up.